Welcome to the Windy City Bender Podcast with your hosts, Nolly, Poetzy, and Jarom.
Hey there, everybody. It's episode 4. My name's Poetzy, along with Nolly.
Yep.
And Jarom.
How are you now?
Thank you for joining us again. It's been a while, I feel. I feel like it's been a while since we've done this. I don't know. Maybe it's just because
we
we
just spit 3 out right away.
Yeah.
We're just like,
Yeah.
The schedules are catching up with us,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Lots to talk about today. Gonna try and fit it in before our men's league playoff game. So
yeah, big Tilly tonight for the boys.
Big tilt. So let's get her going. We're gonna start out with the normal Hawks talk.
Not too much going on with the Hawks,
No.
move-wise, but there's other stuff going on.
Gonna jump right into what happened at the Worlds. Nick Schmaltz.
Yeah.
1 minute into the game against Sweden gets hit pretty hard there by
Blindsided.
Gabriel Landeskog. Solid 2-3 seconds after
Yeah, that was
shot got taken off. So
See, they answered the bell
Yeah.
that season.
yeah,
yeah.
pretty scummy, I think.
Scummy. I don't know.
I mean,
I understand he wanted to hit, but I mean he could have held up and he went high, which I was still surprised that there was no penalty on that play. But
and he left too. Schmaltz did not return.
no, yeah,
There's no reason for NHL players to be in that kind of tournament hitting like that.
No,
There's
absolutely
no,
not.
no. That's what the Olympics are for.
I mean, I guess that's what happens when you get knocked out pretty. Well,
Yeah.
Don't even.
Yeah, that's for guys trying to make it to the show and the guys who are trying to make the playoffs.
It's supposed to be when you get knocked out pretty early, but Colorado they were knocked out pretty early.
Yeah.
So.
They were knocked out as early as can be.
They were done in like November.
Yeah.
It says here that Landeskog did text Nick Schmaltz an apology.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
So, he probably had Nicholas Hjalmarsson at his door with a gun.
Yeah.
Just like, you apologize right now.
That's my teammate.
New baby in hand and everything. Sticking with the Worlds, how about our boy Artemi Panarin?
Yeah, our boy.
Uh-huh. 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points in only 3 games for Russia.
How many games did the Hawks play in the playoffs?
They had
4.
4, I believe.
How many
Four.
points?
One more than that?
He had
Zero.
he had
One.
One?
So
That's kind of
that's cool.
kind of a typical Russian type thing to show up when Mother Russia calls for you.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if like a Hawks fan should be upset or if we're just like, looks like he's out of his funk now.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you can argue that everybody on the Hawks was in a funk against Nashville. I mean, granted, Nashville played really well that series, and the Hawks didn't.
But at the same time, you don't want to see your guy that could potentially steal the series for you offensively
Get 1 point.
get just 1 point and then go and play off in the Worlds. And
Put up 3 points
9
a game averaging.
9 in 3 games.
Yeah, that's rough.
So that
In his defense, though, like we're kind of saying, there's not the same talent that was on Nashville that there is
Right.
in this Worlds.
Yeah, but
still,
No,
it
yeah.
really sucks to see him get 9 points in 3 games
There's
when he
not
only got
that-
1 in 4.
I don't
in
think
the
there's that
playoffs.
much talent on Russia compared to the Hawks either.
True. I mean, most of their teams playing in Washington right now.
Yeah. Kuznetsov and Ovi.
I always think, for some reason, that Holtby is a Russian. And I know I'm wrong.
Not
I
even
know
close.
I know I'm
No.
completely incorrect.
Those types of people don't like
I
those
almost
types
said
of people.
I almost said Backstrom too, but I'm like, nope.
No.
He's Swedish.
No.
Oh,
Nicholas
Swedish.
Backstrom.
No finish.
He finished pretty hard last night.
Gonna go ahead and do some more Carolina talk. No, I'm just kidding. What a joke. We are going to talk about the Hawks trade with Darling compared to the trade.
The breaking news trade.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Dallas has acquired Ben Bishop from the LA Kings for a 4th round draft pick in the 2017 draft.
I have a lot of confusion on this whole scenario.
Well,
Does it start with why LA made that trade in the beginning with?
Yes, but let's stick to the Bishop versus Darling right now. I know you guys were kind of questioning the 3rd rounder for
yeah,
Darling. How you feeling now?
whole lot better.
Yeah?
Whole lot better.
Feeling a little bit better?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess, I don't know. I guess for LA, they didn't really... If he doesn't sign in Dallas, it's kind of like, hey, free draft pick, you know?
Yeah, but...
But why wouldn't Dallas sign him, is my question.
Yeah, exactly.
According to Bob McKenzie on Twitter, it was between Calgary and Dallas, and Bishop actually preferred Dallas because he played junior hockey down in Texas.
Somebody tweeted out a video of him getting in a goalie fight. I thought it was against Texas, whatever their name is, Texas Roadhouses. No, yeah.
Roadhouse.
The
what league? Tornadoes?
AHL, yeah. Yeah,
the
Texas
no.
Tornadoes. No, that's the Null Tornadoes.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of it.
Oh my god, their name is the Texas Stars. 100% in the AHL, the name is the Texas Stars.
That's great.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Well, I'm going to go take a lap.
We're not even drinking.
Yeah. Somebody posted a video of Bishop getting in a goalie fight against the Dallas AHL team, which I thought was kind of funny.
That's
They're
awesome.
like, if he actually signs here, I think we need to play this when he comes out on the ice.
Bring this goalie up for a game.
But yeah, Bishop for only a fourth.
And Darling for a third. Definitely makes it look a lot better.
Yeah, it makes it look a lot better.
Which also, LA or Dallas technically didn't lose a draft pick in that because it was an extra pick that they received from Montreal for a previous trade. So they still have all their picks for the draft this year.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Oh, it was the fourth pick they got for Jordy Ben.
Jordy Ben, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think who they got rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to why the hell did the Kings trade for Ben Bishop? Like, what was the point? There's no point at all. I mean, I understand you're trying to make a playoff run, but go for some scoring. You have Quick, who's established and got 2 cups. I mean, I don't think he's that great of a goalie, but he could still... if you put the team in front of him, you can work with him. Wait, go ahead.
No, that was it. Their entire fault of why they missed the playoffs was because they just didn't score goals on the stretch at all.
So, when the Kings picked up Bishop, they traded away a right-handed defenseman, Peter Budaj, and a fifth-round pick and a conditional pick, but the Kings didn't make the playoffs, so I don't think they get a pick out of that. But, I mean, you lose Peter Budaj, who has showed he's a good backup, a prospect, and a fifth-rounder, and all you get back out of it is a fourth round.
I mean, I guess it's,
So what is the move there?
I guess it's
Why?
better than letting him walk the free agency.
I feel
Question mark?
I feel like if we pan up to Dean Lombardi is still the Kings GM there, correct?
He got fired. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't yeah.
So
I don't think they have.
Oh
one
no,
right
it's
now.
it's Rob Blake.
Yeah, Rob Blake.
Yeah, it's Rob Blake.
Yeah.
That is correct.
I feel like all of the LA front office is just kind of sitting there like in the fetal position, just like maybe if we trade Ben Bishop for another draft pick, maybe we just keep getting draft picks.
We'll be good again one day.
All of them are going to be in a straitjacket by the time July comes
I
around.
think Dallas and Tampa are just together, just working their asses off at LA. What they just did to LA.
Yeah.
Who do you think gets moved now from Dallas?
Well,
Between the two goaltenders?
Well, the 3 technically, but yeah, the
Okay.
2.
But let's
the
be
2
honest.
irrelevant ones.
let's see. You got the 33-year-old making $5.9 million for 2 years. You got the 33-year-old making $4.5 million for 2 more years, or you got the 30-year-old who is a free agent.
Just Antti Niemi. Just somebody get
No.
Antti Niemi away.
I would keep Niemi. He makes less money. He has a full no trade clause.
Makes less saves.
You don't have to make that many saves backing up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Realistically, Bishop can stay healthy. I mean, but that's a whole thing. That's a whole other bag.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Are you banking on Bishop staying healthy or
If
not?
he does stay healthy and they do sign him,
which how often is it that Ben Bishop stays healthy?
Yeah.
yeah, but he can still play though.
He can still play.
Yeah.
We know that. But if he's not healthy and you're going to go and sit back and be like, oh, okay, Auntie, go ahead and take the reins. Yikes.
You've seen that.
You're dropping.
You've seen that story.
You're dropping real quick. That's
Well,
why I'm saying you
next-
put in Kerry Lettinen.
Next year, Niemi's no trade clause turns into a limited or modified no trade clause, so he has to provide a 15-team no trade list. So
Boy.
he won't be.
What a bad contract.
He won't be.
That's
as
another bad one.
Did they
as I
sign
thought.
that or did they get that?
That's
from
what I was
San Jose?
just trying to look up. if the Dallas.
Well, while you look that up, if you can find it, if Bishop stays healthy and Star sign him, how do you feel Dallas comes out of it? I mean,
that's literally all that they're missing.
I know.
That is their missing piece. They are, if he ends up signing with Dallas
and it stays healthy,
that's it. They're legit contenders for the cup.
Yeah, that's a team right there.
100%, which makes me mad because
also nervous.
Stupid Ken Hitchcock.
Why not? I'm going to retire. I'll get fired before the season ends. I think I'll sign one more year.
But I'll retire after that one.
Yeah, for sure.
What the come on.
Niemi on June 27th, 2015 was the second day of the draft. He was traded. His rights were traded from San Jose to Dallas, exchanged for the 193rd overall pick in that draft.
So his rights were, so that doesn't mean his contract was.
Right, so that contract was given to them by Dallas.
Yeah.
So, wow. So and you already had...
They were pushing hard for a cup and then realized what they did.
And they already had letters locked up.
Hitting the oh shit button, just no.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened today, and we're all still very confused because of it.
Yeah, so fuck you, LA.
For
being terrible, winning cups, and still confusing the hell out of us.
Now, that's not the most confusing thing that's happened today. Guess who back?
Possibly
not yet.
Ilya Kovalchuk wants to come back.
I hope New Jersey just totally fucks him over and be like, nah.
We're not trading yet.
Or sign him and then be like, yo, yeah, the trade fell through.
I feel like game one, if he ends up coming back here and he signs somewhere...
Whoever he signs with, Cap should play him, and Tom Wilson should just go after him.
So he's just going to be a complete target all year long.
Oh, yeah.
Not just all year, but like...
Except for
just
against any other Russian, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I would headhunt. That's all I know.
Or every Russian's going to ask, how the hell did you pull this off?
Yeah.
In order for Kovalchuk to come back, he's got to jump through a couple hoops.
Which apparently, I think he's done almost all of them already. So he technically retired after signing he only played 3 years of his 15-year, $100 million contract. He left to go back to play in the K, and to come back, according to the collective bargaining agreement, a player who returns to the NHL from retirement must get approval to do so from all 30 of the league's owners, which now would be 31 with Vegas. And his rights are with New Jersey, even if he doesn't want to be there. New Jersey has already come out with the president has already come out, or owner or whatever, has already come out and said that they're in talks about this if any team's interested. So you can't trade. He would have to sign in New Jersey, and then you'd have to trade away that contract. You can't just trade him away.
Which was what kind of was discussed last offseason with Stamkos, was Tampa was going to do a sign and trade with Toronto.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a little bit more hoops with this one.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
Good.
Yeah.
You kidding me? Sign a 17-year contract, and then 2 years in you go, oh, we are going to be bad. I got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's kind of it sucks because he's such a good player, and he's so sick, and it's like, why'd you have to do that move? Now it's like
just
I don't want to let you. Yeah. He's played 816 games. He's got 816 points between playing with the Thrashers and the Devils. You get that many points. You get your point per game player with two garbage teams. Well, I mean, the Devils went to the final one year.
Didn't he leave the year after they went to the final too?
I believe so.
Because Parise got traded right after that.
That's right. I forgot about that.
He waited till after the whole Parise and Sutter thing died down because he thought that they were going to get both of them.
Yeah.
And then...
Yep.
It's like the cartoon Smoke Dust got out of here back to Russia. Which he allegedly said it was because he was homesick and he wanted to go back to Russia.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude.
You got your millions.
You're a scumbag and everyone knows it. So the worlds are happening. We've kind of covered it a little bit. Let's go outside the world of Blackhawks and talk about a couple of things that have happened. First off, a kick to the chest.
No, that wasn't even the chest. That was the face.
Yeah, I mean, it was close. It was Slovenia. Last name of the guy is Jiglik.
Nailed it.
Jiglik. Suspended 2 games. Only 2 games for kicking a player on the Swiss team. I'm looking at it right now. It's pretty close to the face. It's not really the face, but it's like his right shoulder.
It's as close as you can get.
Yeah.
I think it's a joke that he only got 2 games.
Yeah.
I understand they're in a tournament, and 2 games is a lot in a round-robin tournament. But your skate went straight at somebody's neck, face area.
And it comes sliding
purposely.
down. It comes sliding down off of his shoulder towards, like, his throat. Which, I mean, what are you thinking? Like, I understand that there's, like, a battle going on in front of the bench and whatever, but, like...
Things get heated, but never...
What are you...
Never have I thought about doing that type of thing, and...
That's gross, is what that is.
Good luck making it to the show, then.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Yiglik.
Just trying to be in the next Kopitar.
So there's a shitty moment from the Worlds. Here's a great moment. France.
Yes.
Pierre-Edouard Belmer, who I believe is on
Philly.
the Flyers.
Yep.
Yeah. Was the captain. Is the captain for France.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't say that right. His name is Pierre-Edouard Belmer.
Gotta get the phlegm in
That
there.
was actually pretty fucking good.
He got the Player of the Game award after the game was over, and rejected it and gave it off to his goaltender, Florian Hardy, who had 41 saves in the 3-1 victory.
Who did they play?
Finland.
Finland,
That was
I
an
believe.
upset on Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And it was pretty cool, too, because he was pushing the goalie towards it at first.
Oh, yeah, the whole time.
And the goalie was just like, no, like,
Yeah.
that's okay, like, you got it, don't worry about it. And then he went up there, and then I believe they said the president of the tournament was handing out the watches that they gave out. And even he was like, no, you can come up, like, it's cool. And, like, then everybody was cheering for him to go up there, which was really cool.
Good looking watch, too.
Oh, yeah, those
It's a
are
good
sweet,
looking watch.
yeah. I know I'm sure everybody gets sick of hearing it, but I don't get sick about talking about it. It just shows the character that NHL players have.
Yeah.
And just how much they love their teammates, and they're not selfish, unlike Kovalchuk, but...
There's no brotherhood like it. I mean...
No, yeah. And also, good on, what is it, Belmar?
Belmer. Pierre-Edouard Belmer.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Just kind of trying to change a little bit of the face of the Flyers into a somewhat happy area instead of a gray area.
Instead of one of those areas where, I don't know, you kind of wear like a bulletproof vest while you're walking through. One of those areas.
Well, as that's going on, and you have your captain of the Philadelphia Flyers getting punched in the face by his own teammate.
Which is great.
And you know what? It wasn't even a punch. It was a clothesline.
He wasn't even
like it was one of
looking
those
at him.
cartoon things.
I mean, good
It's
for
Gudis, right?
Yeah, it was Rocco
Yeah,
Gudis.
just doing what he can.
At least he can say that because he wasn't looking at him, so at least he can say, you know what, I just saw a jersey and I just put my arm out.
He probably like looked away and was like, "Oh, okay, I got this fucker."
Here's my
Like,
fucking shot.
Hilarious though.
You're the reason I sat so much.
Yeah. And poor Drew, just completely clueless to what was going on. He was going to help somebody out, and he just gets clothesline clocked in the side of the
It
head.
looked like he was going to help him. He's just like gliding in, like an NHL 15 when they're in fights. And I get right up there.
Playoff hockey.
Kind of punch to the face kind of leads to our next
Yeah.
little segment here.
Playoff hockey. Got a couple Game 7s coming up. We're going to get to that in a little bit. What we want to talk about now is
something nobody's talked about yet.
Concussions.
Brand new information.
Dun, dun, dun.
The concussions, y'all.
What
Have
the
you
fuck?
guys read the reasoning?
Yeah, I have it right here. So obviously we're going to talk about Crosby and him getting flailed and thrown headfirst in the boards, basically. And after his first game back from a concussion, and NHL has concussion spotters at every game, to where if somebody looks like they might have one, they have to pull him off the ice and bring him into the back room for testing. So he didn't get pulled off the ice for this, and the concussion spotters, it says the concussion spotters did not have the authority to pull Sidney Crosby from Game 6 on Monday because the head-first collision with the boards is not a mechanism of injury that allows that under their guidelines.
That's stupid. So if somebody goes head first into the boards and can't move any of their extremities, like, I know a concussion is not like the top thing you should be worrying about at that point. But like,
if he tries to get up, I can't take him out.
If he tries to get up and he's like Sammy Kapanen. If he's pulling a Sammy Kapanen and he can't get up for his life, he keeps on falling all over the place. You're telling me the concussion spotters can be like,
he might have a concussion. I don't know.
Like, we're not allowed to pull him out. I know he doesn't know who he is.
What's the point of the concussion spotters then if...
Considering that Crosby was just out for an alleged concussion, like, you think anything to the head...
And that was the second time in that game that he got hit in the head. He took a high stick from
Hornquist.
Was it Hornquist?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Hornquist's stick got popped up and hit him in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I'm looking at a picture right now of him holding his face.
Yeah.
And his knee neck right there.
Yeah.
And he just has the look on his face like, oh, I'm going to get hurt
It
again.
wasn't me. It wasn't me, man, I swear.
No, yeah.
Blame me for this.
They're already after me, coach.
Yeah, no, that was Hornquist, and Hornquist actually ended up getting a skate to the face in that game, which I didn't end up seeing
didn't see
the extent of those injuries were.
Yeah,
I think
I
he was
didn't see
fine,
most of the game,
actually.
so I didn't see what actually happened with that.
But I really don't understand what the point of the concussion spotters is then, if it's just basically if you get a big hit and you're kind of stumbling after a big hit, which if you get hit big, your body gets rattled, not just your head. I mean, it's just...
And you know what? He said that it was the wind that got knocked out of him.
Of course he's going to say
which
that.
is why it took him so long or whatever. But come on, dude. He was not the same.
They were down, 2-0 at that point? Of course he's going to say that.
Yeah.
I mean...
This just goes back to people ragging on the NHL about taking care of their players and their heads.
Yeah,
like we talked about last time.
This is making it look even worse.
Yeah.
And, but it's like at the same time, who do you truly blame for this? Do you blame the NHL or do you blame Crosby for...
Or just the Penguins.
Or the Penguins, yeah. I mean...
Because he did say that he went after the first, which had happened in the first, after that period, he went to the doctors, and the doctors evaluated him and said he didn't need to get tested because he wasn't showing any signs. But, I mean, if it was that quick in between periods, why not just pull him off real quick right after that happens and do that really quick on the side? You can even do that on the bench.
I was say, did they show if he was getting, like,
I don't believe
checked
so.
out on the bench at all?
I didn't see anything.
Because, like, with the way, I know the old school way of doing it was, you get hit hard, you're on the bench, you do it, and, that's not going to prove shit.
Right.
But then now, you go to the quiet room and do all that stuff. Feel if there's even a question, especially Crosby with the situation he's in, they should be checking him on the bench and then establishing if he needs more to be looked at more in the quiet room or not.
Right.
If there's not anybody checking him out on the bench, there's issues there.
Yeah. I don't know. It makes me angry that they're not taking it more seriously.
Especially
and that
with Crosby.
There's such a huge hole in that rule. Like, the only reason is if your head hits the ice.
I don't know.
Like, that's how I interpreted that rule. The only ways that they
mechanism of injury. So, I mean, I get if you ball bat somebody over the head, I guess that's a mechanism of injury. Is the ice technically considered a mechanism of injury? Because, I mean, if the boards aren't, the ice is the same exact thing as the boards. Or the glass.
I've got a concussion for hitting my head on the ice.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like, I mean, you can hit your head off the boards, the glass, and get a concussion. I mean, how do you determine what it is and what it isn't anymore? When I see mechanism of injury, I just hear somebody's shoulder, somebody's elbow, somebody's stick. Like, that's like somebody doing something to you, not something on the actual ice. Like if you went headfirst into the post or something like that.
I just think that's the issue with concussions, though. It's so hard to determine. I almost feel like if there's a concussion or potential concussion, the player should just be done for the game. Regardless, I think if you're looking to protect the players, I mean, playoffs, I know it's hard to say in the playoffs kind of thing, but it's like...
I was thinking if you are diagnosed with a concussion, you should have to sit out league minimum a week. At least a week. I
hate to compare other sports again. MLB adapted the 7-day concussion. If you had a concussion, you were on a 7-day concussion DL.
Good.
And you can't play for a week.
It makes sense. I mean, why? Right. And that's in baseball. I mean, I understand you can take a ball to the head or whatever, and it doesn't happen as often, and they still have that kind of rule.
Baseball protects their players better than a sport that...
It's a contact sport.
Where you're skating around on knives.
Yeah. So here's the comment from Bill Daly about the mechanism of injury or whatever. Depending on the mechanism of injury, slow to get up does not trigger mandatory removal. The protocol has to be interpreted literally to mandate a removal. Ice, as compared to boards, is in there for a reason. It's the result of a study on our actual experiences over a number of years. Ice has been found to be a predictor of concussions. Boards has not been. So you're telling me that if I go full speed and then slide headfirst into the boards, I'm not going to get a concussion?
Not as long as you don't hit the ice first.
Are you drunk? What is the thought process there? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of hits where guys have been just a little bit off the boards, which result in a boarding call, and they get blown up and their heads just bang off the boards, and like their necks go like sideways almost, you know. And I mean, that's a big hit right there, and your head's just banging off everything. How do you not say that they can't have a concussion from that?
I don't know. The whole thing, him coming back in Game 5, I thought was too soon.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, Connor Sheary did as well.
Yep.
Who? Both of them, Connor Sheary.
Yeah, I know.
Both of them left.
Poor Connor Sheary.
The same game, both got concussions, both came back. Took a game off and came back.
I think Sheary was doing more to prove a point that, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm still relevant. But, so, can we talk about the concussion and just perfect timing? NHL's getting shit on about this concussion. And over the last 12 hours or so, since this whole Crosby thing, apparently news has dropped that the NHL might still participate in the Olympics, and it's not over.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Kind of seems very...
I've heard that the door is like...
Yeah. The door's not completely closed. Yeah.
It's not... It's like when you close your door, but you don't turn the handle to actually like lock the door in place. You can just kind of push it open with your hand. That's kind of what's going on.
It is just very curious that this pops up around the same time the NHL is getting things down their throat regarding concussions, and all of a sudden, hey, you guys don't want this to happen. Guess what? There's a small chance it might still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
kind of some more news to kind of cover up the whole Crosby.
But no. I think, do you feel that the next GM meeting or whatever, one of the main topics, if not the main topic, is concussions?
I don't think they need it to be all about concussions. I think they need it to be about
amending the rule.
Getting the rule out there to the fans and the players so that it's just more known on what the protocol is, so that everybody's
the protocol
well aware.
In itself is ridiculous.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean...
They need to amend the rule and be, if we see any head contact of any kind, whether you're hitting yourself in the head with your stick, or if you bump into somebody, or if you hit your head on the boards.
You start stumbling, or...
If we notice a difference in your gameplay...
Not even gameplay, just attitude once you get to the bench.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you stumble... I'm pulling you out.
If you touch your head, pretty much.
I'd like to see that.
If you take a couple seconds, we're pulling you out. Sorry, that's just how it has to. We'll put you back in.
Yeah, just
if you pass all of our tests, we'll throw you back in.
Talk to the doctors and pass the test. You know?
But we're pulling you out until you pass this test.
And I like to see them adapt what Nolly was saying, the 7-day no play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
because I mean, for every concussion I've gotten, the doctor has said you can't do anything for at least a week.
Right. I just wonder how many of these players that get concussions on the week off, the bye week.
Oh, yeah.
Conveniently, all these players have concussions when they don't have any hockey to play for a week.
Throw them on long-term IR. Let's sign somebody for the playoffs.
All right, boys. Game 7.
2
of them. Potentially 3. But it doesn't really seem like it. As the game is going on right now, it's 2-0 Ottawa.
It's 2-0, yes.
Tomorrow is... almost like the first day of the playoffs.
Yeah.
2 Game 7s in a day.
So
That's
exciting.
Christmas.
That's exciting.
Is it surprising to you guys that it's taken this late to get 2 games?
Yeah. Like there wasn't
any in the
round.
first series?
Yeah.
Or the first round?
We've talked about it. Yeah. Our brackets are so screwed. Shut up. I had Calgary and Anaheim going 7 games.
They could have gone 7.
It should have.
If Calgary got any bounce whatsoever.
I had that going 7, and I think I had the Montreal Rangers going 7 as well.
That was 6,
I think the only series I didn't have going 7 was Hawks.
You nailed it. Pred sweep.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Nice.
Washington, which should have probably ended up going 7.
Should have.
And then
least
I
six.
think, yeah. And I
Still
think,
hurt by that,
Still
huh?
salty.
and I think Pittsburgh was the only other one that I didn't have on.
I'm pretty excited about both these games.
Yeah.
Because the turnaround in both series to force
Unreal.
Game 7s it's awesome. I'm
Unreal.
so excited. In both the games can go either way. I mean, Edmonton going down the way they did, the multiple times that they did, the 3-0 lead that they had late, and Anaheim came back and took it. Like going into Game 6, I'm
Series
like,
should be over. Let's call it spade a spade.
Going into
This
Game
series should be
6,
done.
I'm like, oh, Anaheim's got this, and Edmonton just drops the bomb.
Well, it helps that John Gibson, I don't know, dropped some acid or something before the game because he couldn't make a save.
And
if he wanted to.
Draisaitl just decided to be Draisaitl because he got a hattie, didn't he?
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two assists.
I don't.
That's
I
unbelievable.
think McDavid was pointless in that game too.
And I mean, that just shows.
Yeah.
I mean, they had 7 goals. And
So wait, the
McDavid-
Oilers might be more than just McDavid.
Who knew? They split up Draisaitl and McDavid, and Draisaitl did better without McDavid. During that game, they showed a pretty weird stat that you don't see very often, but it was most penalties drawn in the regular season this year.
Love that.
McDavid was number 1 with 51.
You know what that is too? That's him blown by everybody and everybody like getting a
Yep.
stick out, like please no.
And number 2 with Matthew Tkachuk with 50, which
That's
he's
just
just
that's just because he's a dick.
yeah, and that's hilarious.
But he's the dick the NHL needs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's a good kind.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was really cool that
Yeah.
they showed that stat because that's not a stat you see very
No.
often. And that's something I kind of think about all the time, like
I would love to see,
especially with McDavid, like you said, him blowing past
Yeah.
people, his speed, just how many times people just grab onto him is like go for a ride.
I would love to see that become like an actual stat like,
That they show more often. Yeah, absolutely.
like something I can follow because that's I don't know.
It's a
are the
low-key
Those are the
stat.
kind of players I'd want on my team.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know?
Drawing penalties,
Drawing
getting power
penalties,
plays,
hell
as
yeah.
long as your power play's not
Yeah.
dog shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of show something too about that game. He had no points. He was like +1, 3 shots. He only had 26, only played 16, just under 17 minutes.
Mhm.
He's the rest of the series. Game 1, 34, or I'm sorry, April 28th, 34 shifts, 23 minutes, 23 shifts, 32 shifts, 41 shifts. So I think they got that lead and were like, yeah. Sit the fuck
Well,
down.
oh yeah.
Well,
I-
and plus Anaheim was, after
God,
like a
yeah.
5-0 lead in the first
Kessler
period,
was-
Anaheim's going to be a
all over McDavid.
Yeah.
He was just all over him.
oh my god! Did you guys see the video of Maroon getting kicked out of the game and just laughing the entire time he's going down the tunnel? He says something to Perry and he's just cracking up the entire time he's heading down the tunnel. It's hilarious.
Looking, they showed another stat, and I looked back, and I didn't realize it. The last 4 seasons, Anaheim has been up 3-2 in the series and lost in Game 7. Last 4 seasons.
And those are all at home, correct?
Last year, first round against Nashville. Year before, they lost in the conference finals to the Hawks.
Respect.
The year before, lost in the second round to the Kings, which they were up 3-0 in that series. And the year before that, it was first round against the Wings.
I remember that series against the Wings too. That was a good one.
Yeah. So, I mean, Edmonton. I mean, you just blew them out, and you got good luck going into Anaheim.
Yeah.
And you've won 2 in Anaheim already.
Should have won 3 if you didn't stop playing with 57 minutes gone by.
So, are you saying Edmonton tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I hope Perry and Kessler and all them cry.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Especially Perry.
The only person I'm going to feel bad for is Ryan Getzlaf.
He is having a tear.
Because
right
of
now,
how
and
good he's been. And he seems like a genuinely good person.
He's one of the only guys on that team that I actually like.
Yeah.
I mean, so we talked about a while before Washington were to fall versus Pittsburgh. The team, do they need to make big moves? What about Anaheim? If they fall again,
How many more big moves are they going to make?
But I
They
mean,
fire their
like-
coach like every other year.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, how many players they have not made player moves? It's been the same general roster.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
I
been
mean-
picking up really good guys, like Ricardo Raquel came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They made the move at the deadline for Patrick Eves, which was by
Yeah.
far the
Great
best move at the
They've
deadline.
had a lot
I
of
think.
injury troubles too in this.
They have.
Postseason.
I think it could come down to goaltending.
I think it does
Yeah.
because
Gibson?
they've got two guys. Bernier,
is hit or miss.
he's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of those guys where you could like ride him for 8 games and he'll take you. He'll give
Yeah.
up 1 goal or less in all those
Yeah.
8 games. Or you could put him in for 8 games and be like, please don't let one in from the center ice again.
Please don't ever.
That'd be great.
Oh, Toronto.
Like,
Please don't ever go down.
yeah,
Just stand up.
yeah. And then you have Gibson, who's young.
Yeah.
He's young.
He'll be a good goalie eventually.
Yeah. I just don't think.
He's iffy right now.
Yeah.
He's kind of a hit or miss right now too.
Yeah.
I never realized
I
how
think-
young he really was.
Yeah.
Like until I looked it up, and
Yeah.
he was like 23 years old.
Yeah.
I
that's
did
nuts.
not think that at all.
And
I
this
feel
was
like
his
he's
first
been-
year as like a legit starter.
Yeah.
You know, I think all the
He
other
was behind
times
Hiller,
he was
right?
He was behind
Yeah.
Hiller, and then he was with Anderson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
Kind of like Corey Crawford his first year.
Yeah.
He was a bit rocky. Still got us to the playoffs. Wasn't good in the playoffs, but like
Yeah.
got himself 2 rings later on.
And
So
he's got going for him. He's 23 years old.
yeah,
I mean,
and that's
huge.
super helpful.
And he does have a good team in front of him.
Yeah.
I mean, they have good young players. I mean, they have a lot of old players, but they do have young, like Fowler. He's good on the back end.
Vatanen.
Wasn't Gibson?
Vatanen.
Wasn't he hurt too this year a little bit?
He was hurt for a bit.
Yeah,
Because they
I
had
don't know.
Bernier going for a while.
Yeah. All right. Washington, Pittsburgh.
The other Game 7.
Does Washington
The-
go up in flames, or are they finally going to the conference final?
What is with sports and 3-1 leads lately?
Yeah. I'm telling you,
Like,
no lead is safe anymore.
No.
Even the 7-1 lead, I was a little nervous for
I
a
know.
while.
Yeah. Even last night when I saw the 5-2.
Oh, they scored 2 late, and I was like, oh.
I'm like, there's 2 minutes left. They can do it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, here it
Anybody
comes.
can do
There's
it,
plenty of
Pittsburgh.
time.
My
Oh,
dad
yeah.
stopped in my room and he was like, "Oh, it's 5-1, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's no way, huh?" Oh shit, it's happening! It's happening again. I don't know, guys.
I honestly, I have no idea how this
Watching-
Game 7 is going to turn out.
Watching Game 6, Pittsburgh looked so tired. They didn't look bad.
No, they look bad. They were
They
tired,
just
but they
look-
look bad too.
Tired. They looked like they were exhausted. They had nothing left in the tank.
They had their first shift. They were all over Washington. They didn't get a single shot on net, though. And then after that, they were just horrible.
Awful.
And they got absolutely
awful.
outshot.
It was like halfway through the third before they finally hit double digits in shots.
Yeah.
They only had like 6 shots or something through 2 periods. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, that's rough. That's real rough. You're not going to win any game with that.
How of your team? Who's on your team? You only have 6 shots through 2.5 periods. Like,
Yeah. Hey, but Sid was fine.
But yeah, they were just coughing the puck up like crazy. Just forcing any play that they could. Just they'd see a guy and just throw it. Any play, and if they had a guy in the middle anywhere, they were just throwing it at that guy. And even if there was somebody standing in front of him, like they were having a rough time and a rough game.
can I interrupt for a second?
Stupid NHL.
Breaking news.
Oh shit.
The new Winter Classic is announced.
Yeah,
Chicago
just got-
Blackhawks are playing. It is the Rangers versus Sabres at Citi Field,
Gross.
which is
the Mets ballpark.
Yeah.
the only one that hasn't been played at yet.
Yeah.
In New York.
So again, it's the same general teams. But,
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hey, Buffalo's out there.
It's gonna help for Buffalo for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
I like
Which
Brit-
they had unreal ratings even in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
They're a hockey.
They
hockey
are a
town.
hockey town.
They really are.
They're
Yeah.
literally stuck in between Toronto and New York.
And all the other East Coast teams.
Well, Toronto and New York are like the only ones that like matter to them though. Pittsburgh had 9 shots through 2 periods.
Oh,
Only 3 in the
shots.
first, 6 in the second. And 3 of those came in like the last minute.
Yeah.
They had like a flurry.
Do you have like the breakdown of like who had the shots?
I don't, but I can. Speaking of flurry, I didn't even mean to do that.
I was going to say Marc Andre.
Yeah. I thought that he should have been pulled.
Oh God, yeah.
my dad actually said, "Oh, do you pull him?" And I was like, "Okay, well, Murray's not backing him up right now."
But you're
No.
losing. You're losing.
You're not getting. It's what? It was 5-0 at one
Yeah.
point. right?
Who's their backup? I don't even
Tristan Jarry.
Yeah.
And he was great in the AHL, and he made an unreal stick save earlier on this year for the Penguins.
I mean, why do you leave your
But, I mean,
starter out there to face that?
Absolutely.
Especially going into a Game 7.
Why risk him getting hurt?
They also kept Crosby out there the whole game.
Yeah, well,
So, I mean, they don't
just
really
a
know
whole
what
bunch
they're
of
doing.
ridiculousness happening.
All right, I got the shots, actually.
No, you're just going to do my job for me, huh?
Crosby, 1 shot.
Malkin, 1.
Phil, 1.
He scored, too.
Malkin, 2.
I'm looking at the wrong category.
One goal on 2 shots.
Sheary, 2.
Phil, 1.
Phil, come on, Phil.
Yeah, not good from Pittsburgh. I think we see a better effort in Game 7 for sure. Better effort. I don't. How long that they're gonna be able to do that though?
But
keep that
I mean,
intensity up and everything like that. Because I, honest to God, y'all, they did not look like they had anything left in the tank.
but
I don't
look,
know if you guys saw it the same way, but
But look, there's one game left. It's against the Capitals of all teams. Everybody knows Capitals fall apart. They've never been to a conference final. They're at home. They're going to be feeling the jitters. The Penguins have been there before. They've been in this position before. They can do it. And looking at that and then looking Ottawa, New York is your next opponent, one of the two, in the conference final to go to the final in the cup, and you have the potential to go back-to-back. I mean, that's... I know they're tired, but if this one game, you could have a pretty easy run after this game.
The conference final won't start till Saturday or Sunday.
You got plenty of time.
yeah.
Especially regarding what happens with this game tonight.
I believe they'll be the home team. They'll have home ice.
Oh, yeah. The winner of this series has home ice for, yeah.
So, I mean...
I think this one's going to be different.
This scares me because I feel Washington has nothing to lose at this point because they realize...
They've tied it at 3.
climbed the mountain.
They've tied it at 3. They've got all the momentum in the world coming back. They've beaten Pittsburgh with a bloody shoe twice in a row now. They're just going to keep going. I mean, I don't see them pulling up at any time. I don't... For some reason, putting Alex Ovechkin on the third line has invigorated Andrei Burakovsky.
Hey, I mean, that's kind of like
hell?
Edmonton with McDavid.
Yeah.
Kind of the same move, and it's kind of the same result.
But also with Washington is they win, they go to an unknown territory. It's cited. They lose, your team's going to probably get blown up.
Yeah.
They have nothing to
unknown
lose.
territory,
So,
just like the Nashville Predators with their sign saying "Welcome to the Stanley Cup Final."
Oh Jesus! I forgot to talk about that.
Nashville, can you you make it so hard for me to actually pull for you when you pull shit like that.
When you're excited, just take a minute, take a breath, realize what's going on, and then start posting advertisements.
Part of me hopes that the Hawks, somebody news PR went to Chicago outlet and was like, so this is what happens, right? Yeah, post it.
You're good, man.
You see Mark Lazarus outside of Bridgestone Arena. Just
Yeah.
go to the final, guys.
Yeah.
So what are we saying?
It's a fucking coin flip.
I'm going with Pittsburgh just because I have to. I have to.
Honestly, I don't care who wins. I would love to see either team go.
I want to see.
It'd be hilarious to see Capitals get knocked out again.
I want to see Pittsburgh win just because I want to see what happens to the Capitals this offseason. I think that's going to be more interesting.
But also, I'd like to see the Capitals make a run at the Cup. I mean, there's never been a Russian captain to win the Cup, and I feel Ovi is probably going to be that.
And let's be honest,
that guy.
Barry Trotz deserves.
Oh, Barry Trotz,
he does. I know.
He's just a stand-up guy. He's an amazing person.
I feel that Washington needs a Taylor Hall situation. They need to get rid of one of their big guys, and then they're going to go win it. I think that's what they're waiting for.
I don't know, but like I said, if...
We'll take Backstrom off your hands.
Yeah, any day of the week, or
totally
Oshie.
Fine.
Or Oshie, whichever. Which Oshie's been awesome in the playoffs so far.
Yeah.
But like I said before, on the Capitals end of it, Game 7, you win this game, you're on such a high horse. Finally beating the Penguins, finally going to the conference final, and then you play either Ottawa or the Rangers.
Could you imagine they finally get past Pittsburgh
and they get knocked out by either Ottawa or the
Rangers? Yeah,
but
you get past Pittsburgh, you got Ottawa or the Rangers. You're more than likely going to get past them. Then you go to Nashville, Edmonton or Anaheim, which...
Yikes.
Nope, yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, if you see Nashville and Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals and you're Washington, you get past Pittsburgh, you got to be careful because you might get those big eyes way too soon. And
easy to get ahead of yourself.
Especially like we said, when you're playing either New York or Ottawa in the conference final, I mean, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, especially. I mean, not only playing that series because anything stupid happens in the playoffs, anything can happen.
That's why it's NHL playoffs is the best.
Yeah.
I was looking at. Don't ask why I was, but I was looking at NBA playoffs. Cleveland 8-0, Golden State 8-0.
Did you hear Charles Barkley?
I was just gonna say,
No.
yeah,
Charles Barkley. It was TNT, right?
probably. He's
Yeah.
usually on there, yeah.
They're I don't know. After one of the games, they were talking about it, and Charles Barkley just goes, "Honestly, thank God for the NHL playoffs because I'm sick of all these NBA teams getting blown out." He's like, "At least the NHL playoffs are exciting."
I love Charles.
Yes.
He's so hilarious. He's so funny.
He and Jeremy Roenick are real close.
Yeah.
Roenick writes about him in his
Let's
book
get
a
them
lot.
both on the show.
Yeah, let's go.
go.
Him and Shaq are like the only two NBA guys that I like. They're just so fucking hilarious, both of them.
All right, we're gonna move on here to riding pine.
You're riding the pine pony, pal.
Love it.
What do we got this week?
All right, so the first one came in on Twitter. I was in a Twitter. I don't know. It wasn't a fight.
Scuffle?
It was,
Flame war?
yeah, it was one of those, kind of rub the glove in the face kind of thing.
Little face wash.
Yeah. Chris Siamak, we've mentioned him on the show before.
AKA the next Phil.
Yeah. Tweeted out the emoji with heart eyes connected to the tweet about Kovalchuk potentially coming back. I tweeted back, gross, and he tweeted about this, ? Yeah, pretty filthy, and it was the shootout against USA where he dragged it and then just softballed it up into the top right corner over
when
quick.
he was playing for Russia and not the NHL.
Yeah, that one. And I said, yeah, he's filthy, but he's a scumbag. And he asked me to explain. I said, well, if you're going to retire early so you can make some more money elsewhere while you're screwing over your entire team and not giving it a second thought, that's pretty scummy. So he came back with this, which is going to be our first Riding Pine question. So what's your opinion on Datsuk? I know it's not exactly the same situation, but curious to hear about that. I want to hear what you guys said before I say what I responded.
So basically, Datsuk compared to Kovalchuk on what they did.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting out of it.
Two completely different situations. Datsuk is in his late 30s.
38.
Kovalchuk is 34 right now. And he left 4 years ago from the NHL after he signed a 15-year deal. Datsuk had 1 year left on his contract. Datsuk announced that it was his final year this year, that he was going home. Kovalchuk, they got knocked out, and he was just like, nah, peace, I'm out. And also, I mean, Datsuk's just a stand-up guy. I love Datsuk.
Datsuk sat there and talked about ways that what he can do to help Detroit with their cap situation, if there's something he can do.
Yeah.
Like, before he officially left.
He didn't just leave and screw the Devils.
Yep.
And make them pay a fine, and now wants to come back just because he thought that they were going to be bad.
Which, they're not good right now. Like, clearly, they just got the number 1 draft pick.
But he's not gonna. He will not play for the Devils.
No, he'll say, if I'm coming back and you're signing me, I'm not staying.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Radulov type thing where he went to Nashville and he said, I'm not playing here.
Yeah.
Datsuk earned his right to do what he did. Knowing that.
He also won 2 cups with Detroit. He was there for a long time.
He had nothing else to prove out here.
No.
Nope.
Kovalchuk.
And I actually said, I miss Russia. I'm going to go home.
Yeah, and he wanted to spend time. His family.
He said his family stayed out in Russia. They
Yeah.
didn't come move here. I'm pretty sure he said that. So
yeah, that's virtually what I said too. I said, well, Kovalchuk had 15 years left on the contract, and Datsuk had 1. Don't sign a 17-year contract and realize 2 years in that your team is not going to be very good, and just up and leave. So that was question number 1. Question number 2 comes from our friend Tanner. Again. Hey, Tanner.
What are you drinking right now?
Yeah. Let's place bets. What do you got?
I think he's playing chill.
But what's he drinking?
Pounding some Labatt's.
Okay.
I think he's at work, pounding some nice, fruity mixed drink. Trying to look fancy for his guest.
For the guests.
For the guest.
I think he's playing... Oh, shit, what's that game that you guys play on PS4?
Oh, Rocket League.
I think he's playing Rocket League, and He's slamming Labatt's for sure. No matter what, I think he's slamming Labatt.
Either way, he's pounding Labatt's playing video games.
Yeah. Tanner asks, why are people sleeping on Ottawa?
I think that it's due to the fact that there's so many other storylines going on that Ottawa and New York is just so overlooked. I mean, Anaheim, Edmonton, you have the obvious McDavid, first playoff, Edmonton coming back, the multiple comebacks from Anaheim, Nashville, St. Louis, you had Nashville sweeping the Hawks in the first round and then easily taking over St. Louis to go to their first conference final. And then you got Sid versus Ovi going on. And now it's like Ottawa and Rangers. All right.
It's just kind of taken the back seat.
Maybe that's why Carlson came out and said he broke his heel.
There you go.
We're a relevant series, guys.
Please just listen.
I think people are having a hard time determining exactly what Ottawa is, though, too.
That's also,
Like, I watch Ottawa and I'm just kind of like,
what are you?
I'm still under the impression that Ottawa's just a dog shit hockey team.
They aren't,
and
though.
I know,
They
but like
aren't.
you watch them and you're like, oh wow,
You're a
they're
sleeper.
good.
You're one of them sleepers on them.
I am. I'm sleeping.
I'm half
Ottawa's-
asleep on them.
I'm not.
I don't get them. I don't get them.
I stay woke.
Stay woke.
There
I
you go.
understand Carlson.
I hate you.
and I think that's like 90% of the battle, but
No, it's not. They have a good team. I mean, Anderson's playing well.
Mm-hmm.
They got Carlson on the back end just doing whatever the hell he wants. Apparently doesn't even need to practice.
Doesn't need to
but,
practice.
Boucher said.
I wonder how Billy feels about that.
I mean, they got Stone, Kyle Turris just tearing it up, which he scored the game winner in the last game, I believe, and then went to the Children's Hospital.
Yep.
Unbelievable. That's awesome.
Once again, stand-up hockey player.
Yeah. Bobby Ryan. I mean, they just have a bunch of sleeper guys, which just kind of is their team, their sleeper team with a bunch of sleeper players.
Talk about somebody having a hell of a playoffs, Bobby Ryan. Just totally under the radar.
Oh, yeah.
Flying under the radar, which fits for
Yeah.
for good old Ottawa. All right, you guys, enjoy your Game 7s.
Oh, absolutely.
Game 7 responsibly, I guess. I don't know.
it's a Wednesday, so I can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wasted Wednesday, Game 7s.
I think Chicago people are fine. I think it's more.
Well, I was talking more so to like our international audience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you gotta, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, you gotta
Stuff,
be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And also, be rooting for us tonight.
Yeah.
Big Tilly.
Hey, the NHL playoffs aren't the only playoffs that's going on right now, so let's all put that into perspective and
One game at a time, boys.
Yep. Let's go Goalbusters, huh?
Hell yeah.
Oh, all right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Peace.
Follow the guys on Twitter at WCBP, on Instagram, WCBPodcast, and like them on Facebook, The Windy City Benders Podcast. The Windy City Benders Podcast.